Hello everybody. It is still Thursday, the 30th of March. Now, I want to talk about quite a few things here and I hope I'm getting it together. We're trying to understand what is happening to us, around us. And what we are living as the physical reality is created by the spiritual. That is the first thing we need to understand. The spiritual is the cause, the physical is the effect, and they do not operate separate from one another. And what is happening at the moment on the highest level is spiritual wickedness in high places. There are those that understand what I have just said, and they are working this on a spiritual level to create a physical outcome. And they are spiritually wicked, or they might even be spiritually insane. I don't know, they might have gone that far. But what we're talking about are the supposedly enlightened ones in the capstone of the pyramid. The few that will direct the affairs of man. They understand that principle, and that is the principle of as above, so below, of as below, so above, which is a Hermetic principle. Now, we're saying to understand what's happening right now, we should go back to source. As we are coming to the end of an age, not the end of the world, hopefully, but the end of an age, then if we must to return to source, we should maybe go just to the beginning of the age, for now, to see what is creating this. And as I said, I looked into the Hermetic principles and I've seen videos of it, and they were talking about the Hermetic principles like, that's just some spiritual knowledge that people have been talking about, and again, as if it exists detached from everything else. It's just out there. Has got nothing to do with the physical world, and it's got everything to do with the physical world. It is creating the physical world. So I want to go through some Hermetic principles to show you how they're being worked. If you detach that, if you take that knowledge and bring it back to us and see it here, you will see that those principles are pretty much creating this age. So we have as above, so below. And as below, so above. Things go belly up here, they have got a spiritual root. It's not independent from one another. So then you have, that is as above, so below. The principle of gender, which I've already talked about in the first video today, the male and female principle, that is in everything, and that is creating the physical world. Cause and effect, yes. Now, the principle of polarity. There's a thing where the Hermetic says that opposites are the same. They're only varying degrees of each other. So darkness and light are just varied degrees of the same thing. You have less of one, you go more, so you have less of light, you go more into darkness. You have more darkness, you have less light, but they are just varying degrees. Hot and cold are the same. And here goes, and there is a principle that's being worked. To sheep herd, all or nothing, and that is people are being driven either into it's all physical, where you do have no spiritual knowledge whatsoever, it's just the physical world, or they're being driven into the all, it's all light, it's all love, it's just this big fuzzy greatness that's information overload. And as far as we are concerned here now, they are both the same. They are nothing. you don't have spiritual knowledge in all. You don't. You know, if you only know it, if you look at all and you only know it by it's a bright light and it's one feeling of love, of fuzzy love, then you cannot define it. You don't know it. And if you're in the physical and you say there's no spiritual, then you don't know it either. Either way, you are in not knowing. But it's in the various degrees in between that it manifests into a physical reality where you can understand the workings of those principles, where you can see them. And through the outcomes, you can see what what their laws are. So that is a principle of polarity. Yeah? That is being worked on us to drive us into not understanding either all or nothing. The principle of vibration is that everything is in movement. Everything. Nothing is still. The difference, again, is that you either in this world, the vibration is that low or slow. You could say slow. Everything moves slowly in nature. That it appears as physical reality. And the higher the vibration, it's still moving, but then there is no form. And it's moving that fast that it's moving that fast that you can no longer see it. And then there's no form. At the moment, this world is being driven into a higher vibration through us. We are being driven into a higher vibration out of the physical. And saying, oh, this is brilliant, you're going into all and then you will know it all. No, you won't. You won't know it all. You will know nothing there. Right now, the vibration of the earth, and you could see like the Schumann resonance, is just so that things are moving. You can see outcomes. You should see the spiritual that is creating this. But it's just moving at a pace that you can keep up with. And where you can know the spiritual. But as I said, we're being driven. Everything is being speeded up beyond the pace of what this earth would actually go at. And then again, you're being driven into what the hell is going on. You no longer understand because you're going too fast. You're on a too higher vibration. You're too high. And again, you're going into you're not on the mark. You are not on the mark, which is the vibration of this world. And again, that is spiritual wickedness. That has been deliberately done. And it is going against the laws of this world, which is a spiritual entity of itself that has got its own vibration. And you're going beyond that. And it is wrong. Which then the principle of rhythm, which is the swinging of the pendulum. Again, don't see that out there detached from everything else. It's just one of those great knowledges that talks about heaven. No, it's creating earth. And the idea is that if you swing the pendulum, let's say in the negative, what we would know as bad outcomes, yeah? But you deliberately keep going, that it will swing back all the way. At some point it will swing back into then enlightenment, great enlightenment. You're out of great tribulation, swing it as far as you can one way, and you will kill millions on the way doing that. And then you let go and it will swing back into great enlightenment. Again, in this world, naturally the pendulum does swing. Because everything is in movement, everything creates outcomes. Outcomes can create tribulations. that we must overcome. But it says in the Bible, God will not give you more than you can handle. This is why this world is going so slow. And that is why it is solid matter. That is why it's a low vibration, so that you can keep up with it. But they will create something that, I say, they're speeding everything up, they're driving it too far the one way. Now for those, as I said, the spiritually insane, in the capstone, what they're actually after is spiritual knowledge. I believe that. I don't believe they are after the physical. It will create physical outcomes, obviously it will. But it's not what they're after. But they're using those that want physical outcomes, riches and stuff like that. They're using them to be their workers in this world. But that is not what they themselves are after. They think they will become these enlightened beings whenever the pendulum swings back, because they are doing it in awareness, and they will receive. So, I mean, it is really all of these Hermetic principles you can see worked in this world. They are spiritual laws that create physical outcomes. And if you want to go back to source, for now, I would not go back any further than that. So this is said to be the knowledge of Egypt, or maybe some say Atlantis. But that is what creates this age. If you look at these Hermetic laws, and you can see them working in this world. And then we must work them correctly. Because I don't think that it's the principles themselves that are at fault. See, knowledge is, and you can see it working in this world, so therefore they have kind of been proven. You know, it's like you take a theory and then you put it into a laboratory and you work it. Yeah? So they may have been theory, but we've been working it in this world, and it has. You can see the outcomes. You can see it working in this world, which kind of proves it. So pretty much they are what has created this age. So go back to source and then work it correctly. So as above, so below, know that it is spiritual what creates the physical outcome. If you want to change the physical outcome, you have to go back to the spiritual and see what the spiritual wickedness was there. That is the correct way of creating a physical change, or the highest way of creating a physical change. So as above, so below, know the principle of vibration. Don't go beyond. Don't speed up beyond the speed of the earth, but go with it. And that is going with nature. And then the knowledge, again, the world is not all the knowledge of everything. But again, you cannot know everything. But I think you can know this world, and that would be a huge amount of knowledge. Spiritual knowledge. But I think in order to get that, you must go with the earth, with the vibration of the earth. You must be on the same wavelength. Principle of vibration, Hermetic principle. All or nothing, no. Don't go into extremes, but go into, they are the same, but go into the variations of, meet somewhere in the middle. Principle of gender, know your male and your female that come together and create outcomes. Cause and effect, self-explanatory. And yes, the swing of the pendulum, the principle of rhythm. And know that, again, if the pendulum for you swings too much into a bad outcome, yeah, then know that you are the one, through spiritual knowledge, that can swing it back, and don't let it swing too far. The more it swings, the more destructive it becomes. And more is not necessarily more in that case. Go in small steps. You will gain small knowledge, but you can go at a steady pace. And I'm wondering if that is the story of the tortoise and the hare having a race. You know, go the way of the tortoise. Go slowly, go steady. In the end, the way of the Great Tribulation is the way of destruction. And again, it is spiritual wickedness in high places that is creating this. And right now, in this world, I say they are speeding it up. They're going beyond the speed of you can see it in the Schumann resonance. They are, it's not natural made change, tribulation. It's man-made climate change. It is man-made, not so much man-made climate change, but the thought of man-made climate change. It is man-made shortages. It is man-made tribulation in the financial system. They are creating the tribulation. But as I said, for those insane in the capstone, they are actually working this on spiritual principles. And I really do believe that what their gain, or what they think their gain is going to be out of that, is enlightenment. So anyway, I leave it at this. This is a lot, and but it just shows. I just want to show that we must bring heaven to earth. We must stop the separation. Yeah? It's not out there or down here. They are both the same. They're just two ends of the same thing, and they are the same in the end. But the earth has got its own rhythm. It's got its own pace, and we must go with that. To gain the knowledge, we must be on the wavelength of the earth. And I think that's where we should be. Anyway, I leave it at that for today. I said it is a lot, and I probably will make more videos just to say where I can see these principles being worked in this world to create a physical reality out of the spiritual. And if we understand that, I think we go the correct way of understanding what's actually happening around us. Because that is the source. That is the source of the beginning of this age. And it's been worked in a wicked way, which is now creating the destruction. The same knowledge, I believe, can be used in a good way. Good and bad is not in the knowledge, it's in the way that you use it. Anyway, I'll leave it at that for today, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.